Hey friends, what's up? Welcome to a new episode of Is It My Team or Do I Suck? Today's contestant, SUI. SUI is a bronze to Pharah. And when we asked about what rank he thinks he deserves, he said no clue. Okay, that's a new one. At least you don't overvalue yourself. Let's see. Our Tracer soldier was hacking since his tracking was super snappy for some kills. And no one went to push the cart and blamed it on me and Mercy. And the whole lobby got toxic and the game was pretty weird. This might make for some funny content. I don't know what I'm about to see, but interesting. A supposed hacker on the team and you're on Pharah. We haven't done a Pharah replay yet. Let's see what you have, Sui. You're playing Pharah on, what is the map called? Rialto? No, it's Rio, right? Like, Paris. You wanna stay in the air and you wanna play in corners where you can't really take damage. And that, I think that's what you're trying to do here at least. A thing I can notice though is that you're not really flying around a lot. Okay. And that's probably, like, it sounds so simple, you know, just stay in the air on Pharah. It actually requires quite a lot of practice to stay in the air. Really, really good Pharahs. The reason they're so amazing at the hero and the reason they're so hard to kill is because they constantly stay in the skybox. They almost never dive down. They always stay behind cover, or at least they stay so high up in the skybox that it becomes really, really hard for hit scans to kill the Pharah. Another misconception about Pharah. People think, oh, hit scan just counters Pharah, right? So many times, even in my games, and I'm sure you had it in yours. Oh, just get a hit scan and kill the Pharah. Pharah is not actually countered by hit scan. Yes, hit scan can kill Pharah, but it's actually quite an even matchup. When you have a Pharah Mercy and the other team only plays one hit scan, the Pharah Mercy should actually win. One hit scan alone is not enough to counter a Pharah. What's happening? So you leave your Mercy alone on point? She dies. Your Mercy is the only player with a brain on your team. Everyone else is like, run into their spawn. There is a thing called objective in this game, and this is not character specific. Capture the point. There is no reason for you to push in their spawn when you haven't captured yet, okay? There's not a big difference between 3 and 1 on a capture point. Hey, we can do a little quiz. Like, can you do like a... Who wants to be a millionaire? How much faster is it if you push the cart with 3 people compared to 1? Answer number 1, the same. Answer number 2, a bit faster. Answer number 3, a lot faster. Answer number 4, 3 times as fast. They're respawning. There's no reason for you to push in their spawn. If you just stay 5 on cart, you just won the fight. Instead, your entire team moves up and you let your Mercy die. I'm gonna give you the voice of reason here. You're the second person to come back. Your Mercy is smart. She realized you had to capture. Yeah, well, you die for it. Get fucked. I mean, I can see when you say in your description that your team didn't want to stay cart or point. They're fighting in like second point capture territory. Meanwhile... Okay, this is about you though. Sorry, this game is just really fascinating. I can tell it's definitely a lower SR game, but that's okay. So,
an intimate moment. Kiss me.
You seem kind of lost. I get it why it's kind of hard for you to do a lot though. I mean, you're gonna wiggle that Pharah down. She shouldn't kill you. You have a Mercy pocket, right? So it's just gonna take a bit. Yeah, your team is kind of trolling, but you're holding it down. What I can tell you though, again, back to your mechanics, okay? You wanna stay in the sky. You seem to have troubles keeping permanent flight. That's something you have to practice. It's a mechanic that's for only Pharah. Another intimate moment. You say this guy's cheating. He's playing like a cheater. Do we do a short intermission? And then we go back to you.
Oh boy, here I go killing again.
I don't think this is cheating. So if anything, this is probably a smurf. I don't think he's super high level. He's definitely probably better than bronze. Most of the time, it's fine to have 1 on card. You don't need to, if you know your Mercy's fine, you don't need to sit here with your Mercy. You're AFKing with your Mercy. So right now, I mean, you're doing nothing. I love you. You're getting carried by your team. Okay, your team finally died. It's time to back out, okay? It's time to back out. You're down. I mean, it's 1v5. I don't know why you didn't run any. Like, why are you still going in? This is just general awareness. I mean, it's actually a miracle you're still alive, to be honest. I want you to realize how dumb this looked. It's only you. Like, yeah, your Tracer is coming back. It's a 1v5. Well, if you don't count Baby Diva, it's still a 1v4. Look, you're going in with 1 HP. It is actually a miracle you're alive. Look at this. That's ridiculous. You should have died for that, buddy. The Cassidy on very long distance shoots you. He only does half the damage. You rocket 1,000,000 meters away. You do the exact same damage as if you're melee range, right? You want to keep the distance to the hit scans. And the difficulty on Pharah comes with predicting the rockets. You're not gonna hit all of them, that's the nature of projectiles. But projectiles, you wanna abuse the fact that you can stay further away. And the way you're going in right now, and the way you're playing super aggressive, Pharahs only really do if they clean up fights, if they know they can't die anymore, or if they know there's a very low chance of dying. You're playing way too up close, and this is way better position, right? As long as they're not looking at you, this is a position you can hold, right? And now you're getting value. And yeah, you're still not pushing the cart.
What the fuck is this piece of shit?
What I could recommend you, I don't know if you had voice on in this game, or if you know, if anyone in bronze talks. You could ask your Ana nicely to stay on cart. And if not, your Mercy seems to be willing to stay on cart, which sucks for you. That means you don't have the pocket, right? Worst case scenario, you have to stay on cart. People are idiots, I'm an idiot, you're an idiot, but you know, you gotta try to be the smartest idiot in the room. It's not about being smart, it's just about being not as dumb as everyone else. And then you win. You have Barrage, which I call the suicide button, because it's the worst ult in the game, most of the time. The only time Barrage is really... actually not bad. Honestly, see, Barrage, if it gets one kill and you live, that's like the best case scenario. You are playing Ground Phara, man. You're running more, you're walking more than you're flying. And you want to fly further away. You're playing too far forward. Right now you're in their spawn, melee range. We can play a game, the floor is lava. Let's count how many times you touch the floor. Reason is, if you touch the floor more than like a few times in a fight, you should be dead. There should be like a... They should add a patch to Pharah where it does damage when you touch the floor. So you're like inclined to fly. You want to stay in the air if you can. Oh my god. You're literally... Yeah, I mean, you touch the floor like 50 times by now. The Ground Phara, boys. Okay. Again, there's no reason for you to be this close. I get this is low rank, and you're lucky they're not looking at you. You're actually free farming them. But see, a good diva kills you there. Alright? How long was that? This is like the children in kindergarten where nobody wants to do it and everyone goes, nah, 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 nah. If none of you do it, all this killing doesn't matter. You're literally all throwing the game. Back to my other story. I was talking about creating bad habits. And I think this is a general tip that should be useful for everyone here. So if you create bad habits for yourself, it might work and you might even climb from bronze to silver. And if your main goal is silver, then be happy with it. But then in silver, people are going to start shooting back because you're melee range and then you build a bad habit and you will never be able to fix it, right? The longer you practice something, the worse it gets and the worse it's going to be to correct it. I have one of those issues too. I jump too much on Soldier. Like, I have an emote in my chat, Jumpy Boy. Literally, everyone spams me jumping, and jumping gets me killed all the time. It's one of my worst habits as a player, and because I played Overwatch for 7 years, and I've never really bothered fixing it, I'm now the Jumpy Boy, and I still suck, and it's my biggest flaw as a player. Back to your Tracer. You said he's hacking, and he seems to be popping off. This guy is definitely not aimbotting. This is like very mediocre aim. I think this is a guy whose main account is in plat and he can't win in plat, right? So he smurfs in bronze to feel better about himself. But if he loses in bronze and then he's gonna blame you, he's a clown. He's a clown in the first place. I know I do unranked to GMs, but if you go on a bronze account because you want to shit on people and keep that account in low rank on purpose, that's fucked up. Right? I mean, yeah, he's definitely like just a smurf. But probably like his tracking isn't even that great. Like you said, he's cheating. I think the reason you find his tracking impressive here is because it's better than bronze, and bronze players have pretty bad movement as well. So it looks like it's pretty good. But I can tell by this guy's movement that there's no shot this guy is above diamond on his main account. You're partying on card, and again, it's okay if one of you is on card. I don't know why your Mercy is not. How are you? What's happening? What? If you really want to be with your Mercy and you want to hold hands because you built like a connection during this game and you're going to start dating, you can actually fly up here. And you play right above the card as a Pharah. She can actually damage boost you while sitting on card. So you still get the pocket and you get the benefit from pushing the card. And if you did that, you would have probably killed more. You would have probably also lived because that freeze would have done nothing. And you still have 5 seconds to touch here, so nobody needs to be in card right now. You are fine because the freeze, you know, you see the orb, it's only this aura. And the Mercy can fly up to you and you're both fine. So you would have probably won that fight by just being in the air. That's your job on Pharah. Oh, shut you loose. Okay, you didn't pick a hero yet. I can't even select you. That is kind of triggering. Maybe you're like blaming in text chat. Okay, it's now. You submitted the replay. You haven't picked the hero yet. And the fight has already started and your tank is already dead. They're about to touch point and capture. What the hell are you doing? Now it's harder because you just gave them first point for free. You know how many times on this map I get held first or second? This map is really, really defender-sided. It's really hard to capture last. You got it really far. This is super winnable. Okay. For the first time in a long time, you actually managed to stay in the air for more than 2 seconds. While you're back on the ground, as I said it, you need to probably practice basic mechanics on the hero. That being said, I don't think your rockets are that bad. I think your positioning is horrible. With, well, I mean, now you're full, but you're going into a spawn. Yeah, you can't actually damage them in their spawn. You shooting there doesn't do anything. Look, he doesn't care.
Don't care, don't care, don't care, still don't care.
I'm happy you didn't pretend to think you deserve plat. I think you know you're a bronze player and you need a bit to get out of here. I don't know what he's doing, but okay. You waited this. Moving on. You have the barrage. It's actually good barrage. It would be a good barrage. Why don't you barrage there? That was actually a good barrage spot. Here. Okay. I mean, it worked. I don't know why you're shooting the floor instead of the diva. I think with barrages, right, you wanna catch them off guard because if you shoot them while they're looking at you, chances are you die, right? But here they had no clue. They had no clue. You can do the trick where you shoot the rocket and shoot the barrage right after. That way you can animation cancel, right? But right here, one rocket, and even if you miss, that's fine. Now you barrage. Look, free barrage. And you finally realize, but you just didn't aim. And again, like your rockets aren't awful for your rank. This is really nothing about aim, it's your positioning. You are too close on Pharah. Why would you like walk around if you could fly? Are your mercies in their spawn trolling? Are you just like spinning it? Like what's happening here? It's just a clown fiesta. Okay, surely you don't die to the... Okay, I'm not even gonna comment on that. Go next. I would really encourage you to like just go into a custom game mode on Pharah if you're struggling and just practice the flying over and over. Try to shoot like random bots in like a practice aim map while trying to stay in the air. And that alone will make you 10 times better, I promise. And then after we've figured out the flying only, you can work on stuff that I can't even talk about with you because you're not staying in the air. The good Pharahs, you know, they fly and they also fly behind the corner. So a good Pharah would like hover over here and shoot the rockets like this. Like, imagine you're here and you're like, bing, bing, bing. You know, like you can stay here and you hover in and out. Nobody can kill you because you have a mercy pocket or even without a mercy pocket and you just shoot rockets, right? And then if they push a walk up, then you can relocate and stay up here and fly, right? Like that's the strength of Pharah. And you're back into trying to kill them in their spawn. You have not learned your lesson yet. The funny thing is they walk out of spawn. Like, what are you doing? Was it planned to hide down there? If they come lower, you just die. Like, what the hell are you doing, man? This is the worst positioning I've ever seen in any of my videos that I reviewed. You're the worst. Oh my god. There's no shot you lose this, right? Okay. Imagine you could stay in the air. Look at your movement. You're just in the middle of the open. And then you fall down. And you Z9, and the game is over. Okay, I'm trying to not rage here. Sui, let's be honest here. You're lacking the very basics of Pharah. Learn how to fly, do your pilot's license. After that, work on positioning. Try to shoot rockets from longer range. Only commit and go close when you know you can kill them for free. Or when you know you won't die. Or when you know there's a very low chance you will die. After that, you can work on cover. Flying, step 1. Shooting rockets, step 2. And then still staying in cover in the air while playing the video game. The fact that this guy, who's an ass by the way, he's clearly not a bronze player. He's not a hacker, I think. Because he did a lot, and while yes, he was an asshole, and yes, he's smurfing, he did try to hard lift you. You were just too heavy. That's about it. Bum, bum, bum. I am Fab, also known as JMA in-game, is an Ana player, and she is currently, I'm assuming genders, oh no. She's currently in Gold 5, and she thinks she deserves Plat. Okay, so reasonable amount of climb. So I had this match where Ryan was constantly standing around and not providing space. His mechanical skill and especially his ability, usements, were awful. I don't think usements is a word, but I'm not a native English speaker. I play tank a bit myself, and I think I know enough to say that this tank was clearly awful. He then switched to Roadhog after the enemy Ryan and his team rolled him. After that, he died 3 times because of the Ryan dashing him off the map. He then complained about not having an Ana as Roadhog and that it's a support issue. Do you think I suck, or is it just really my teammates? I like your VOD reviews because I learn a lot. I would take any advice for positioning and stuff. Go off if you want. I will go off. Oh, I'm booting up. What I'm gonna say about Ana. Ana is very good at keeping the tank up, right? Like if you have an Ana and a Mercy, which is what you have in your comp, the Ana should always try to keep the tank up.
Hey, yo, the pizza here.
Now, yeah, your tank did feed. He went out of your line of sight very fast and died really fast right after. So I'm not gonna blame you hardcore for dying there. That being said, you could have still tried to throw an anti. Tank difference is a thing in Overwatch, but what you can try to do as an Ana, you're actually very, very good at turning the tank fight around because you have one of the best abilities in the game against tanks. Sleep Dart. If you sleep the enemy Ryan, even if your Ryan is worse, he can get a free charge, right? Or your DPS can pick him for free, or you can anti the enemy tank. Ana is so great at turning tank versus tank fights around, especially. The thing with Sleep Dart is it's a very long cooldown. You don't want to use it unless you're pretty sure you're gonna hit it, but you really kind of want to save it for their Ryan, I think, or you want to save it for one of the flanking DPSs, right? And Sleep Dart is one of the best abilities in the game, and it's a very valuable ability. It was actually kind of off. There was a really early anti-nade as well, right? Like, if you saved that for when the Ryan needed it, it would have probably been better, right? So yeah, your Ryan did die, but for that second time, I have to say, probably also on you. Nano is one of the best ults in the game, right? But like, especially on Ramatra, it's so good to combo with Ramatra. It almost always wins teamfights. It's so good. So right now, what you want to do is...
What is this piece of shit?
Again, I don't mind your positioning as much, right? But it would have been really valuable if you got the Sleep Dart there. You could have easily peeked out here for a second and maybe hit that Sleep Dart on the castle. You can peek out for up to a second until the skull is gonna close in and your skull is gonna implode. Your tank is pissed, but why do you swap to Kiriko when you have Nano up? Even if you have like beef with your tank by now and you're flaming each other, you can still Nano you up. Anyone, right? Nano is so good. You just wasted an ult for nothing. There's no reason for you to swap. Even if you want to swap to Kiriko, you feel like the Ana is not working, that's fine, but then at least use your ult. Like, you could have easily nanoed someone there and you could have probably won. Okay, so your Roadhog actually kind of popped off there. Yeah, no, your Roadhog got 2. The soldier killed himself, but your Roadhog got the kills. He just kind of carried you, man. What? And this is you. Hey, you TP'd out, at least. Okay. You're complaining about your tank, but, I mean, I gotta be honest, he didn't do super well until now, but he just won you the fight. And you are sitting here typing instead of... Okay, I gotta be honest here. I get pissed at my teammates too. The fight is not over. You can stop, like, you can type after the team fight. You could have 100% saved your tank there. Like, yeah, you got charged off, but if you were there earlier, you would have... The Rhino would have probably died in charge, right? And the Kiriko does a lot of damage for a support, okay? Instead, you sat on point, you typed, and you had to use your Kiriko cleanse for yourself because you were caught by High Noon, because you were AFK. Okay, well, you're on Kiriko now. Like, yeah, your Ashe needs some help, but she's not insanely low. She's not critical, right? Once you TP here, you should realize you can just keep your Ashe up by left click. The only thing that is like in danger of killing your Ashe is the Brick. And the Brick, I mean, she is scary, but she's not gonna insta-kill, right? So this is a wasted Suzu. You wanna be mindful of your cooldowns. I like the off angle. That TP, I don't like at all. That like, you just, right here, it's probably the better choice. If you see the outlines of your team, right? It's probably the better choice to TP to your Mercy or your Ashe and then heal the Roadhog. If you TP this way, you know the run is there and you know you're gonna TP right in his face. And I know you have Suzu and you live there, right? And yeah, your Roadhog is getting charged off the map there. Or, I mean, barely. I actually killed him. He didn't get charged off, but... Also... No reason to Kitsune ult here after you won that fight, right? Count to 5. It's like in primary school, you know? As long as you can count to 5, you're fine. They lost 3 people. And then you Kitsune ult. There's no way in hell this one brick is gonna kill all of you. Right? That's just a wasted ult. And now you're gonna lag that for next fight. Or whenever you need it, right? Okay.
What the fucking shit you done them up for?
Okay, you're complaining. You're like talking to the other role-playing in-game. Oh my god, you suck. No, you! It's a supportive. No, it's a tanktive. You both suck. That is your positioning. If you're aware of cooldowns and aware of positioning, instead of role-playing with your Roadhog, you can do that on Rule 34 or wherever you want to, right? If you are sitting right here in the corner and your team gets shattered, you can come in and cleanse everyone and everyone is fine. And you baited the Rhine ult and you baited the Rhine to charge into you and you probably get a free kill. That is 100% a very basic positioning error by you. He didn't ult yet this game, as far as I know. So you should know he has shatter. And if you know, you're fine here. Like look at, imagine the value you would have had if you didn't get stunned and you cleansed your team there. The cool thing about Kiriko is before the fight you can take a very aggressive off angle, and because you have Suzu and Swift Step, if you watch Overtake players or really high level ladder players, they play insanely aggressive at the start of the fight. You either get a pick off, or if they don't, they cleanse their feet and then they teleport out. You can start off by creating space for your team. And so, like, Kiriko is probably the only support that can do that reliably, and it's what makes Kiriko, it's a really big part of what makes Kiriko so strong. What the hell am I looking at? Okay. We seem to have a little robot malfunction here. Okay. You can actually climb up and heal them from above, right? You do have wall climb. You can use the high ground to your advantage. Okay. Again, like another super risky. Yeah. So the thing is, you saw the Hog vape, so he's not in immediate danger of dying anymore. So you TP in, and you use the cleanse for basically nothing, and then you end up dying because you TP'd melee range into Reinhardt. It's just, there's no reason for you to do that. So, Brig is a sustained brawler. What makes Brig so strong is you proc Inspire and you heal your team passively like a Lucio, right? So what you want to do is you want to use your Flail to proc Inspire and then play around your team, play with your team, right? So you're kind of trying to do that, and you're trying to be kind of aware of, you know, they're flankers, but you get caught because you're out of position. You need to be aware of things that can kill you, and you're just not aware enough. And in fact, you had time there to react and shield bash out to the left or the right, you know, to dodge that. But you died first, and you know what dying first means? You suck. We're now playing Mystery Heroes, Moira time. What is this? Behave like it's ranked. This is serious. We're not here for the fun. Not much to say about the character, you know? She heals, she sucks. I mean, she's not very good, but she also sucks. She's not that great as a frontline hero, though. And right now you're frontlining. High ground. High ground. What are you doing? Your tank just died, right? He's still coming back. You fade out here and run away until your tank is back. There's no reason for you to be this up close. You still... You had so much time to walk away and you just didn't. And you fed. And that was a really late death too. Which means you staggered another fight. But again, like, what is with your positioning here? What is with your positioning? You're frontlining. In which case, like, maybe it works for you this fight. I don't understand this. I don't understand this. Let's watch that back. Like, if you're in front of your tank and you see the Reinhardt in your face, you're doing it wrong. Like, he could have swung for you there instead of swinging for the monkey, right? You could have killed that Rhine there, I'm pretty sure. I get that their Moira is healing. Look at his HP. And your monkey just jumped on him. If you keep the Cole on that Rhine, he just dies. Instead, you swap targets and you shoot the full HP Moira, and then you get shattered. And Cole has a very long reach. You don't need to be melee range either. Okay, now you take high ground. Again, why are you still sitting on cart? Why are you still sitting on cart? A10 always says cart is the worst place to be, because you have the least cover and you're the most likely to die. High ground, right side, left side, anywhere. I know your second support is an Ana, but you want to be a bit more backed. And if you want to go DPS Moira, that's fine, but you don't DPS the tank, then you DPS their DPS, right? Or their supports. And meanwhile, your DPS are dying on top because they're getting no help. In this comp, you're probably the one that wants to look at the DPS. And your Ana probably should stay back here and heal your monkey for free. If you were high ground, your team would have probably held this easily. Your Pharah wouldn't have died and you would have probably just killed that soldier for free. Instead, you just give them free high ground and now you're down 1. But, yeah. Well, you're high ground now, back to low ground. I think there's a soldier up there. I mean, this is just really hard to stay alive because of how you started off that fight. That is it, I think, huh? Okay, I am fab. You're not fabulous. Analysis. You spent like the entire submission message complaining about your tank. I do think your tank had some issues, but you complained about him swapping Roadhog. The funny thing is, after he swapped Roadhog, he actually won you one of the very only team fights you actually won in the entire game. There were a lot of really basic positioning mistakes. On Kiriko, you teleported into the enemy tank twice. You didn't position correctly. You never used nano on Ana. And then you kind of played mystery heroes on defense. On first point defense, you died first on Brig. On second point, you died first again and your team held it down. And then you just died because of your horrible position. I think you suck. It wasn't your team. Get better. Work on your positioning. Work on your ult usage, especially. Yeah, just play the game more. And you'll get better. Until next time. See you guys. Bye-bye.